I heard you did really well at the Artesia Candidates Night last night.
Thank you so much. I was very thrilled with the response. There's some issues that we need to address, and that is the possibility that this county could be asked to go on city water. I've done some investigation into that. The state can do it. If there is a water line near someone's house, the state can legally make you hook up. The county cannot. And that's where, as district attorney, I can really make a difference, because I could and would refuse to enforce such a law. But in the meantime, if there's any more talk about Utilities Inc. putting out lines, we need to get a whole lot of people to those meetings to stop it, because that's when to stop it. Terrifies me that there's a line right here on Blag.
I know that that was one of the big issues at one of the last Utilities Inc. meetings, where they said that they were going to be running lines and that they were not obligated. You're not obligated if you have a well to hook up to this. And it is something that people were really upset about and really worried about.
Well, this is what they do, is they run the line, and then they tell you if your well breaks, you can't fix it. I don't believe them. People who looked inside that thing, there was a proposal to cap wells. They were lying about that. They took it to the county commission. It was knocked down. It was the one time that the people came in and said something and were listened to. Same thing at the town board. Then they had the nerve to come to our CCSC meeting back when we were holding them at the library and tried to push this same thing on us, said it was about the prison. It wasn't. They were still trying to get us to support this grandiose scheme of piping up the whole valley. And they were roundly trounced. But my concern is now they'll get it piecemeal. First they put this line down Blag. I don't know why they needed to work on this for 6 months just to put in sewage for the detention center. Furthermore, taking the sewage from the detention center to Willow Creek is ridiculous. That pond cannot hold the sewage it's taking. Now it could. It's not a matter of capacity. It's a matter that the facility doesn't work right. It's not being maintained right. The samples are being taken from the wrong place, and it's not being done right. As it is now, the whole area stinks. Children are playing in smelly water, and they don't realize it's sewage. And they're going to add another 1,000 people's sewage to that effluent? Rather shocking. Hopefully not, but...
And the idea that this line may be a gateway to a bigger industrial park up here on the Fan, what do you think about that?
Well, I think an industrial park is a great idea. My concern is that they would make the surrounding houses hook up into the line. For instance, we had an issue, and I changed my position on it. I wanted it to be mixed use. But I found later that mixed use, they would supply utilities, so that them going along with it was kind of a little trick. But there was a fellow who owned the land I'm on Peckstein, between Blag and Lola. There is a big piece of land on the west side of Lola that's owned by a fellow who wants to put some kind of equestrian development, with small lots. And my concern is if he does that, he's going to want to line down Peckstein. That would put me and my neighbors in peril of having to hook up to it. And they will. They'll say it's voluntary at first, and down the road it won't be. Same with this solar thing the town board was talking about. The city is really just supposed to take the garbage out and make sure things are safe, have, like we've been saying, catch the criminals, put them in jail, protect the people from scam artists and rapists and murderers, gangs and things like that. The city doesn't need to be worried about solar power. If some development wants to come in and do it, let them do it on their dime. I just see so much grandiosity from the officials around here. We really need a district attorney who knows and understands to limit the power of government at every level to what they're really supposed to do. And I can be that district attorney. I would check and balance. I would say, hey, wait a minute, where do you have the power to do this? They don't even seem to give it a thought. The town board isn't, we have a town board system, but they're under the county. And that sometimes they run this town as though we were incorporated, and we're not.
How can people contact you for your campaign?
751-3636 or Nancy Forney at Gmail or nancylord2010.com.